Willa Cather's My Ántonia is a classic novel that explores themes of immigration, hardship, and the American frontier through the lens of its narrator, Jim Burden. The novel, set in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, follows Jim's recollections of his childhood and his deep connection with Ántonia Shimerda, a spirited and resilient Bohemian immigrant girl. The story begins with a framing narrative in which Jim Burden, a successful lawyer, reminisces about his past and compiles his memories into a manuscript. The novel then shifts to his childhood, starting when 10-year-old Jim moves from Virginia to Black Hawk, Nebraska, after his parents' deaths. He is sent to live with his grandparents, who own a farm on the prairie. At the same time, the Shimerdas, a family of Bohemian immigrants, settle nearby. Jim soon forms a deep friendship with their daughter, Ántonia. She is adventurous and full of life, and through Jim's eyes, she represents the spirit of the prairie. However, the Shimerdas struggle to adapt to their new life. The harsh Nebraska winter takes a heavy toll on the family, culminating in the tragic suicide of Antonia's father, Mr. Shimerda, who is unable to cope with the isolation and hardship of immigrant life. After Mr. Shimerda's death, Ántonia takes on additional responsibilities, working tirelessly to support her family. Jim continues his education, and although their lives begin to diverge, he remains drawn to Ántonia. As Jim matures, he moves to Black Hawk with his grandparents, where he re-encounters Ántonia. She begins working for the Harlings, a well-off family in town, and enjoys a relatively carefree youth, attending dances and social gatherings. Meanwhile, Jim befriends the town's other immigrant girls, known as the hired girls, who contrast with the more refined American-born girls in Black Hawk. Despite their lower social standing, these young women display strength and independence, shaping Jim's perception of the immigrant experience in America. Jim eventually leaves for the University of Nebraska, where he excels academically. However, he remains nostalgic for the prairie and Ántonia. During one visit home, he discovers that Ántonia has been deceived by Larry Donovan, a man who promised to marry her but abandoned her after she became pregnant. Despite this misfortune, Ántonia refuses to be broken. She returns to her family's farm, determined to raise her child alone and remain connected to the land she loves. After many years, Jim revisits Nebraska and reunites with Ántonia, who is now married to Anton Cusack, a kind and hardworking Czech farmer. She has a large family and has embraced the role of a devoted wife and mother. Though life has not always been kind to her, she remains strong and resilient, embodying the enduring spirit of the prairie. Jim, now middle-aged, realizes that Ántonia represents an unbreakable connection to his childhood and his past. The novel concludes with Jim reflecting on the vastness of the prairie and the importance of his memories, understanding that Ántonia is an essential part of his identity and his emotional connection to his youth. Commentary: My Ántonia is a beautifully written novel that captures the essence of pioneer life and the immigrant experience in America. Willa Cather masterfully paints the Nebraska landscape as both a place of struggle and profound beauty, using it as a metaphor for resilience and change. Through Jim Burden's nostalgia perspective, the novel highlights the complexity of memory and the deep emotional bonds that shape human lives. Ántonia stands out as a powerful female character who endures hardships with courage and determination. Her story reflects the resilience of immigrants and the sacrifices they make in pursuit of a better life. My Ántonia is not just a story of personal growth and nostalgia. It is a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the deep, often bittersweet connections we hold with our past.